Have you ever looked around and just wondered why some people seem to get ahead while others get stuck, even when they start from the same place? Well, it's not about luck, and it's definitely not about where you came from. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to explore a really powerful idea, inspired by the philosophy of Jim Rohn, that the entire path of your life, your money, your happiness, your future, it all starts with one small but fundamental change in the way you think.
And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it all, doesn't it? It's so simple, but it's incredibly profound. It basically says that wealth and poverty aren't just things that happen to you. They're the end result of a process. They're destinations. And the starting line for both of those journeys, it's right between your ears.
And this lays out the two different roads you can take. On one hand, you have the reactive path. That's just acting on impulse, on habit, kind of just letting life happen to you. But then there's the other path, the deliberate one. That's where you pause, you think, you analyze, and then you act with a clear purpose. The starting point for both is exactly the same, a single thought, but the order you do things in, well, that changes absolutely everything.
All right, so let's dig into our first big idea here. This undeniable connection between what's going on inside your head and what shows up in your actual life. And I want to be clear, this isn't just some motivational fluff. This is the real-world blueprint for how our lives get built, brick by brick.
This idea just completely changes the game. Success isn't some lottery ticket you might get lucky and win one day. It's a skill. A powerful mindset is like a muscle. It's a daily workout, a habit that anyone, and I mean absolutely anyone, can build with a little bit of consistent effort.
So how does that mental muscle actually build your reality? Well, it's a chain reaction, like a set of dominoes. It all kicks off with your thoughts. Those thoughts then spark your emotions. Those emotions, in turn, drive you to take certain actions. And when you repeat those actions day in and day out, boom, that becomes your future. The big insight here is that if you want to change your life, you can't just start with your actions. You have to go all the way back to the source, to the thoughts that started it all.
And this all boils down to one of the most basic laws of the universe, cause and effect. The idea here is that nothing in your life is random. Every single result you're getting, every win and every loss, has a specific origin that you can trace.
And here's what that trail of breadcrumbs looks like in real life. It starts with a thought, right? Something like, hey, I should probably learn a new skill. That leads to a decision. Okay, I'm going to sign up for that online class. That decision leads to an action. You actually spend a few hours every week studying. And finally, that action produces a result. You get a new certification, maybe even a promotion. See? If you're not happy with your results, you can literally play detective and follow the evidence all the way back to the thought that kicked everything off.
So let's just pause for a second. I want you to actually ask yourself this. If your thoughts were a GPS, what destination would they be set to? Are they constantly steering you toward the things you want, or are they stuck on a loop, pointing you toward all the things you're afraid of?
Now let's go one level deeper. Think about the overall effect of your thinking. Day after day, is it creating positive momentum? Is it giving you energy and opening up new doors? Or is it like a tiny anchor, slowly but surely weighing you down over time?
And this last one, this is the question where all the power is. I want you to pick just one belief you have that holds you back. Got it? Okay, now what if you could swap it out for a belief that empowers you? What would suddenly become possible? This isn't just a mental exercise, it's you looking at the doorway to a totally different future. Okay, let's switch gears a bit to talk about one of the most practical mindset shifts you can possibly make, especially when it comes to your job or your business. It's the move away from just being busy to being valuable.
This simple comparison is a total game changer. See, most people are stuck in time-based thinking. They ask, how many hours do I have to put in? They're trading their time for money. But really successful people, they ask a totally different question. They ask, how can I pack more value into every hour? They get that your income isn't about how hard you work. It's a reflection of the value you bring to the table. The goal isn't more hours, it's more valuable hours.
So what even is value? It sounds a little abstract, right? But it's not. It's actually super concrete. It's the combination of three things: what you know, what you can do, and how well you can use those two things to solve problems that other people have. That's what the marketplace pays for. Not your time, not your effort. It pays for solutions.
And here's the cool part. Value isn't just one thing. It's like levels in a game you can climb. It all starts with personal value.
That's your mindset, your self-discipline. Then you level up to professional value, your actual skills and expertise. After that comes system value, how well you lead and work with a team. And at the very top, you've got vision value, the ability to see where things are headed and guide people there. So which level are you working on right now?
So you can have the greatest mindset in the world and be totally focused on value, but guess what? None of it means a thing without action. And the two biggest mental monsters that stop us from taking action are the fear of failure and the fear of risk. So let's pull back the curtain and see what they're really about.
This is such a critical shift in perspective. Most of us are taught to see failure as a final judgment. It's like a big red F on our report card. But what if it's not a grade at all? What if failure is just data? It's neutral feedback. It's information that's just telling you, hey, that approach didn't work. Try something else. It's not a stop sign, it's a roadmap telling you where to turn next.
There's this fantastic story about a young athlete who kept getting cut from the team over and over. But every time it happened, he didn't see it as a final verdict. He saw it as a personalized report card. He didn't think, I'm a failure. He thought, okay, cool, here's a clear list of my exact weaknesses. This is my homework for the off-season. Now that is the growth mindset in action.
And this mindset led him to this incredibly powerful insight. It's such a different way to look at things, right? The real danger isn't falling down. Everybody falls down. The real danger is falling down and not learning anything on the way back up. The fall is temporary, but the lesson, if you grab it, is permanent.
So what about risk? How do we handle that? Well, it's not about being reckless or taking blind leaps of faith. It's a strategy. First, you understand. You learn everything you possibly can. Then you prepare. You build the skills you need, you make a plan. Next, you evaluate. You look at the best case and worst case scenarios. And only then do you act, by taking a smart, calculated step forward.
All right, let's bring all this home. In this final section, we're going to tie all these ideas together. This is where we stop just thinking about it and start living it. This is about moving from being a passenger to being the pilot of your own life.
Now this is a huge one, and it's a little humbling. There's a force out there that's often even more powerful than your own willpower, and that's your environment. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, you're fighting a losing battle. The people you hang out with, the stuff you read, the content you consume, it's all programming you, whether you realize it or not.
What this means is that you have to become the architect of your own world. You have to consciously choose what you let in. So take a good, hard look at your inner circle. Do the people around you genuinely lift you up? Are they honest enough to tell you the hard truths you need to hear? Do they, just by being who they are, inspire you to be better?
And this all leads to the final, ultimate transformation. It's that moment when you make a conscious decision. You stop being a spectator watching your life go by. You stop blaming your past, your circumstances. You just accept one simple, powerful truth. You're the one in charge. Your thoughts, your actions, your results, it all starts and ends with you.
So I'll leave you with this one last thing to think about. We've learned that the quality of your life is really determined by the quality of the questions you ask. So think about the main question that's driving you right now, today. Is it a question based in fear, like, what if I fail? Or is it a question based in possibility, like, how can I become more valuable? Because the life you're going to have tomorrow is being built right now by the question you decide to live by today.